Jeopardy! Host Ken Jennings has revealed his ambitious plans as the now singular host of the game show. Ken, 49, made an unannounced guest appearance at a live Jeopardy! Event last Friday attended by the U.S. Sun. Jeopardy! Kicked off its new Inside Jeopardy! Live on tour, which the game show plans to take nationwide at the Edge and Hudson Yards, New York City. Ken, 49, was the last speaker at the instantly sold-out event, and he scored a standing ovation from the 230 attendees. He spoke at length about growing into the big gig, comparing himself to the late Alex Trebek. He joked that he may not be as handsome as Alex as the years go by, and no, he will never rock a mustache. "I don't think I'm going to be the good-looking silver fox we were so lucky to have with Alex," Ken said. Executive producer Michael Davies, joined by producer Sarah Whitcomb-Foss, bluntly asked, "We won't be seeing a mustache?" "I don't think you'd like it if you did," Ken replied to the audience's laughter. "You will see the ratings drop. I aspire to perfection." Ken also spoke on the ways he would like to channel Alex, mustache notwithstanding. "But the thing about Alex is you'd marvel at his flawlessness, almost never making a mistake on stage," he said. Ken said Alex would glance at clues occasionally during commercial breaks but not very often. "I aspire to that kind of perfection where he has that control at all times," he said. "Not comfortable." He also touched on one trait he brings from being a former champion that may separate him from the famously ice-cold Alex. "The other thing I've noticed is we've talked about the endless tournaments that were not our choice," he said. "Now that we've had new contestants on, the difference is not really the gameplay but how comfortable they are on television. There's something I want to do when someone's not comfortable. I remember how that was. I remember that deer in the headlights feeling. How can I settle that person down? Is there a way to bring them out in the interview? Is there a way to get them to laugh, to catch them off guard, to get them to enjoy this moment?" He sweetly concluded, "Because I think they deserve that, and the moment often goes by." Ken also bowed down to announcer Johnny Gilbert, 95, who has been with the show since 1984. He said his predecessor, Don Pardo, lived to 101, so perhaps the secret to agelessness is announcing Jeopardy! Finally, Ken name-checked some of his favorite recent players, including Victoria Gross, whom he said made the recent invitational tournament look like Kids Week. Aggressive change. The live event, hosted by EP Davies and producer Foss, was not without some drama in terms of the show announcements made. The ambitious new executive producer announced he's pushing for the iconic game show to ditch one of its cardinal rules. First, producer Foss announced that a change that is definitely happening: contestants who competed in youth events will get to re-enter the regular contestant pool as adults. For the first time ever, if you competed in Kids Week, Teen Tournament, or College Jeopardy, you are going to get to come back and play the syndicated show and see if you can make a run at things and a long streak. "So we're really excited by this new announcement," Foss said. Then came Davies, saying he wanted to bend the eligibility rules even further and let any past players, including huge champions, re-audition for the nightly show after 10 years. "I had a slightly more aggressive proposal," Davies interjected. "I wanted a 10-year rule that applies on a lot of other game shows that anybody, once its 10 years have passed that you've been on, you can apply again and get on. We'll see if I can get it past Sarah or our colleagues at Sony," he added, to which producer Foss clarified, "Not yet." Fans took to Reddit after the news swirled, expressing they did not want the change enacted as regular Jeopardy! Works as is. "There's a time and place for multiple former contestants to compete against one another, and it's the TOC or second chance," one fan wrote. "Honestly, I'm sick of Michael Davies' shenanigans. Jeopardy was perfectly fine. While yes, I've been supportive of the second chance and champions wildcard, I don't like how he is playing with the format of everything," wrote another. That wasn't the only announcement made at the live event that fans were not sold on. The showrunners also announced their mysterious producer's pick for Masters 2024 would be Amy Schneider. Amy will compete against Season 1 champion James Holzhauer, returning contestants Matt Amadio and Mattea Roach, and newcomers Yogesh Raut and Victoria Gross. The 6 current highest-ranked Jeopardy! Contestants will play in the primetime tournament, facing off in 2 games per hour-long episode, starting on May 1, 2024, in ABC primetime. Davies even expected backlash. "I have to prepare myself for the Redditors," he said. He then announced, "So firstly, it's a producer pick, but it's not just me. It's all the producers," mentioning ABC and Sony. "We have to acknowledge there were several worthy people. But one person stood above everybody else. I've got to believe they can go on that stage in Masters and beat everybody," he added. "Secondly, we're a TV program. We depend on ratings," he admitted, saying Amy's following was a factor. Amy placed bottom 3 in last year's Masters, knocking her out of this year's event. Amy recently and decisively lost the Jeopardy! Invitational tournament to Gross, only for both to go to Masters either way. Fans ripped Jeopardy! Masters Season 1 for nearly being a rematch of the 2022 Tournament of Champions and the JIT Finals for very nearly a repeat of Masters Season 1. Now, Masters Season 2 will once again see a nearly identical roster, with only 2 out of 6 contestants being new. How do you have a tournament that eliminates people from Masters but still pick them? One fan reacted to the news. "For the record, as a big Amy fan, I'm not a massive fan of this pick. It's kind of a predictable choice and I just don't know if her gameplay will hold up against the other 5, wrote another. "So then what was the point of the JIT?" asked a third. The event also featured winning guest appearances from upcoming Masters contenders Matea Roach and Matt Amadio. Matea shared that last year's Masters players developed a great bond and they are excited to meet newcomers Victoria and Yogesh. Matea, who nearly beat James last year, vowed to get payback on the Canadian clues James snatched from them last year. Matt surprised the audience by revealing he's been prepping hard since last year's Masters.